welcome to episode number 74 of the Eavesdrop podcast. This episode is brought to you by Expressvpn and hymns.com, and I'll tell you a little bit more about them as the podcast progresses. But we have the legendary, the creme de la creme, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Lxthul. I'm not Courage. I'm not going to call you Lxthul. I'm going to call you Lxthul.
Thank you. I mean, whenever people ask me, like, hey, what is your Twitch or something? I'm just like, you know, Lxthul, like, it's Lxthul. Then I don't know. Trust me, if I could go back in time and...
You would change it?
I mean, at least the X or something, but...
Can you? Have you looked at the Twitter?
Lxthul? I'm like pot committed at this point. I don't know.
I don't think so, dude. I don't think so, because I'm gonna tell you why. And this is something that we're gonna discuss. Obviously, you guys and us as a team have a lot of history. You guys got me that one ring, which was by the way super cool of Halo to make one for the owners, like this one, and it has Hecz on the inside. It has Hecz written on the inside of it too. For Hector Rodriguez. Oh, Hector Hecz Rodriguez, it says in the middle. So
I didn't know they did like that much for you, like on the customization part of it as well.
Yeah, super.
Yeah, that's really cool.
This is how it should be done, though.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and it usually seems as though people or orgs or franchises or developers that are up and coming that try the hardest, and I guess you have to, because you're up and running. If you look at what Gandhi is doing over there at High Res, like he is like in front of the camera, giving updates, and that's what I think is like the foundation of what a good esport should be. Where when you get to be a multi-billion-dollar entity like Activision or a multi-billion-dollar entity like Microsoft, Halo Industries, or whatever, you sort of don't have to do all the extra work that matters, right? Because
it's hard to even like put a face to something.
Exactly.
Whereas like with Scott and Rogue Company and stuff, like anytime there's been like a character update and stuff, I haven't played the game personally, but I've obviously followed him on Twitter. Anytime like they make a change to something,
they say what?
He just makes like a video. He says what, why, when, and then that's actually, I mean, that's kind of like a gripe I have with some stuff that is done with HCS, is like kind of the not necessarily transparency, but I'm sure there's just a lot more hoops to jump through when it comes to a bunch of random things. And whereas just hopping on your webcam and making a video. And
cool. So obviously you guys, as I was just mentioning, we have a history, and I don't want to touch on you guys being dropped from Infinite. No, you don't remember that? Good. Simply because it's just something that's been beaten to pulp, and there's no need to sort of relive those moments. But it was one of the indicators, one of the key indicators that I looked at when I said, this is sort of spinning a little bit out of control, and we need to figure this out. Yeah,
the group text was popping off around then.
Yeah, it was, man. I don't know. It was disappointing to say the least. But if you think about it, whoever it was, there was I don't, what was the name of that? ESL, was ESL running it at the time? Your tournament, because they weren't doing.
I think MLG had just started.
No, ESL had the one balloon outside.
Oh, the balloons. Oh, that one. Yeah. Okay, I was thinking like the tournaments right around then, because like MLG started doing some Halo, like the Halo stuff in 2018, which was the beginning of the like third season or whatever, and that's when all that happened. But before that, ESL is the balloon people. Yeah,
so I understood from an optical standpoint, from an optics, no pun intended, standpoint, where you look at the love and effort that's going into these tournaments, and you sort of put
like at least 5 balloons worth.
Yeah, 5 balloons worth, and to me that was like the biggest disservice, and why it makes sense to vet the tournament. And look, ESL is an incredible company, has done.
Yeah, I feel like there's more to that. Yeah. Tournaments, like the logistics of how that happened specifically. Hopefully, I hear how that happened one day, because I refuse to believe that was like their plan A of
what happened?
Of like a world championship tournament, especially
that
when
was the world championship.
Yeah, it was, especially if you compare it to the first year world championship to the third year, the venues, like locations, production, all that stuff. Like there's, I don't know, something doesn't add up.
So 2 things on that regard, right? Like, 1, you don't give the audience or the fans the opportunity to buy as many tickets as possible. So you sort of cap yourself at 100, I believe. How many people were allowed in there? Like 75, I think?
Yeah, I mean, they made the most of like their area that they had, but I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't much area. I mean, I had problems. I'm pretty sure I was kind of like having to go through a whole process just to get like the people that I knew there in, and like I don't think that should ever be a thing.
Yeah, I don't know. It was weird. The thing about that about Halo, and I think that I always, I don't think we'll ever get an answer, and I don't think that we will ever be able to understand. But it had made it right. It had made it as an esport. It was world renowned. It was respected. This that like it was the first console esport that was respected from a we're here to stay standpoint, and then all of a sudden this sort of decisions, I don't know who makes these decisions, but they started like to sort of go back and forth, and you had these dips and peaks and valleys, and since then we haven't been able to recoup. But I tell you what, forever and always, I'll always want to be involved in Halo. You know what I mean? Obviously, the only way that I'll be involved in Halo is with the men that are in that picture. Being one of them.
We're boys in that picture. We're getting pretty old now.
I don't know, man. Royal 2 looks super handsome.
Yeah, Royal 2 looks
Frosty.
the same.
Frosty's a man now.
Yeah, he's like, I think he just turned 23 like yesterday or the day before or something. Like, that's as close as I can get, even though it just happened. I'm not good with birthdays, but
yeah.
I saw that and I was thinking, I was like, damn, he's older than I was when we won our first Worlds together, I'm pretty sure, and I'm the old one on the team, so...
What, how old are you?
26.
26 is not old.
Well, I turned 27 in January. I'm 26
Flamesword is 27 already. He doesn't have to wait for anything.
Well, Mike is really old.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm just kind of old.
I'm 40.
Nah, you are a child. With what I saw you walk in, I saw you walk into the office, and I was just thinking, this guy
doesn't age.
This guy's older technically, but he is acting like a toddler.
I am.
I don't remember the last time I danced into a building ever.
Well, I was happy to see you. First of all, I was in the middle of a call with Andy. And we walk in and we're like, I see you and I'm like, oh, I started dancing. I don't know. I didn't even realize that I was doing that. No replays, Matt. No replays. No. The cameras didn't catch anything.
It's not a bad thing. I just, some people dance into the buildings.
Yeah,
some people just crawl in because they had to get up in the morning and then they sit on the couch.
Do I ever dance into this building? No, that's he's lying. He's lying. Only for special. Only dance for special dudes. You know what I'm saying?
All 74 of the Hecz quarters. Eavesdrop. Podcast.
Yes, all of them. No, okay. So let's get into it, man. Obviously, I know your history. If you want to give a little background of when you started, how you started, we'll go on for that. I don't, as much as I like to.
I can give it short and sweet.
Hell yeah, do it.
My name's Tony. I was on Optic. I lived in the basement. Gamer tags Lxthul. I play Halo. That's pretty much it. I mean, I've been playing since like 2008, 2009 when I mean. Late 07 is when I got good enough internet to not just play dial-up RuneScape.
Yeah.
And I liked Halo. Then I played Xbox Live. Didn't try going pro, but next thing you know, I was pro in like 2010, and now it's 2020. I mean,
what is the one thing that you miss from those days, from the early MLG days that you don't get to experience today? And don't say LAN events or tournaments, but.
Those days. Yeah, I mean, it hasn't been that long since then. Those aren't called those days yet.
Yes, they are. I mean, if you think about it, it's like almost 10 years ago.
Well, no, I was talking about the LANs this year because of how that stuff's going.
Oh,
yeah. Honestly, I don't know. It was way more fun being an AM. I swear. I remember my first like major tournament, MLG Columbus 2010, and the amount of tournaments I would say I was going to, even though I knew I pretty much wasn't going to, but like I'd like online, hell yeah, and I'd like get a team and like stuff, even though I knew I couldn't probably go because my parents' situation and stuff. Like my mom didn't really care if I went, but just didn't have the means a lot of the time. So I don't know, just kind of it was way more like close knit like relationship as far as like being an AM. Whereas once you're a professional and stuff, even with other pros that you're friends with, a lot of time it's like it's more business oriented. So I don't know. I miss just being younger, honestly.
Yes, I mean, dude, tell me about it. I feel like I'm 26.
I mean, I'd run circles around myself even like 7-8 years ago, and then further back. But like, I don't know, the passion.
Yeah, most recently there's been this talk about age and whether or not it matters. Now that you're 26 and you've been competing since I can remember. what are some of the things that I mean, do you agree with that? Does it actually affect you? I mean, aside from posture and and eye strain, maybe, do you feel it? Do you feel a difference?
Well, I'd like just recently. I didn't realize, by the way, this is why I got the eyeglasses. My eyesight's always been like amazing, but you ever look at like streetlights or something or stars and they have like do they have like that
blurs?
Like, I didn't know that that's like a sign of like astigmatism.
Yeah.
Anything. I always thought that was normal, but besides that, I can see close, far, whatever.
So you're saying that you're supposed to just see a dot in the stars?
Well, not as bad as what I see, I don't think.
Do you actually see like
it's all over the place.
A cartoon?
Yeah,
almost?
It's just, and I was like, I just thought that was normal.
Yeah.
So I'm just noticing like eye strain type things because I just been noticing some weird stuff.
Yeah.
Like especially in the first couple hours when I'd wake up. But I mean, besides that, no. I like just got glasses. I don't really notice the age stuff. I think, especially for Halo, because it's a slower time to kill. I think fast time to kill games with like, twitchy reaction based aiming can be a little different maybe, but I don't think it's that important. But specifically for Halo, I mean, I don't really think it is a big deal. I think a lot of it is just like passion, time commitment, priorities, and stuff like that. Because like I said, I think even maybe 5 years ago, like when I was on EG winning all the H2A tournaments, I think even compared to then, I'm still just better overall now. Like we went back and played H2A tournaments online and I've picked it up like it was riding a bike, and I feel like I was even improved from then too. So
from a physical standpoint, you still can hang, but obviously because of the time committed to this thing, your brain sort of develops.
Well, that's a person-to-person thing, and then like some people, they keep improving and they stay like super passionate and dedicated to it, and then some people as they get older, it's like, maybe I want to do something else, which I don't know why they would want to do that, right? Just play video games forever.
So I have it written here. When Frosty told you guys that he was going to go play Call of Duty, what did you guys make of that?
Well,
because then you guys have to replace him with APG. You know what I mean?
Well,
shout out to APG.
Yeah.
By the way. That
Shout
wasn't a shout
out APG. He'll get mad at me if I don't say it too. I mean, that scenario was weird just because he didn't tell us that he was gonna go play COD or anything. I mean, we didn't care if he did because obviously we're not doing shit right now. But I don't know. PJ was the one that was like, dude, is he gonna tell us? Freaking out about it, and me and Matt are he's just gonna play COD, that, right? He's like, yeah, but I mean, is he gonna tell us? We've been teaming for so long and stuff, and when PJ gets riled up, you just gotta let him rock. But he didn't straight up tell us, and it had been 6 months. I mean, at this point, he had been already playing an event on E6 in Black Ops 4, and then doing better as his third event. He still hadn't told us, and I texted PJ. I was like, yeah, I don't think he's gonna update us on if he's playing COD or not, man. But I'm pretty sure he is. So
did he end up telling you guys or not?
No, I'm still waiting.
So he's back on your team, and
yeah, I know that, but I still don't know if he's ever going to play COD a few years ago.
Oh,
yeah,
you still don't know.
Nah, we got that figured out. I made some jokes about that, but that's cool. The only real hiccup we've had in our team ever, to be honest. And
you sort of chalked that up as he's a young dude, right?
Brad's an enigma. He really is. Well, both Brads, APG and Frosty. But the whole picking the other Brad up, APG, when he left, I mean, honestly, the 2019 Halo 3 tournaments they had 5 major, pretty decent size as far as Halo 3 tournaments go in 2019. He's a no-brainer. Him and I are we're kind of just a little duo, even if we're not teaming in general, but especially on Halo 3. So honestly, I think it worked out. We loved teaming with Brad. I mean, we did really good with him, and I don't know. It was
no shot at Brad here or anything, but I think that if I stepped in as your fourth, we still would have won some. You know what I'm saying?
Well, maybe a couple series, but maybe one tournament, maybe one of them. But that's just because I was playing really good that tournament.
Yeah. So obviously you seeing him go in there and obviously have success. He won one of the homestands, or three homestands, right? More than anybody else, I think.
Yeah,
obviously Envy, but
I think it was all before that one patch or something. I don't know. I try to keep up my cliff notes on esports and stuff, but I remember they won 2 in a row, but they won 3 total, and then that patch happened, and then there were 2 events then champs or something. But Yeah, pre-patch they were kind of shitting.
Seeing him obviously make the transition and have the success that he did, did that ever cross any of your minds? I mean, obviously we'll just talk about you. Obviously, when I talk to PJ, I'll ask him the same question. But when you guys went through and saw the success, were you guys like, I mean, if he can do it, I can fucking do it? Or is that just not something that
maybe PJ, but not, I can't speak for Matt because I don't know what goes through his head.
Yeah.
And he's always doing his own thing, kind of chilling. But no, not me. I didn't even really ever want to like switch or think about switching that often. Or when like Ghost happened, like 2013, when the first Ghost event was formal ace, snakebite, and enable. I think. Yeah, they got top 24 or something. They did pretty good for just 4 Halo dudes randomly. But even then, I never really thought about it. I've never like. I enjoy watching COD and tournaments and stuff, but as far as actual like playing in it on the competition side and things like that, I don't know. I've always just been like a Halo guy, honestly.
You'll always be a Halo guy?
Oh, I mean, hell, last night, the day before, I just been playing Halo 3 still.
Yeah.
8 hours a day.
8 hours a day.
I think I played more Halo 3 than every other Halo game combined.
Now, is that because you love the game, or is that you just saying, I got to sharpen this sword every single day in order to compete whenever the time comes? And then how do you mentally prepare for that day when it comes with is there transparency between you and the developers, or just passion?
For Halo 3, just passion. I don't know. That game, it's not perfect. It's got a lot of flaws. It's one of the weirdest online experiences ever, at least until recently with their little update they did. But for Halo 3 specifically, I mean, I don't know. Something about that game, it's got me hooked. Like, I need to get treatment for it because I legitimately play that game and have played that game too much in my life. And then, I don't know. I don't know what it is about Halo. I couldn't even tell you what I like or love about it. I just play it. Except Halo 4 and Halo Reach. Those are the worst. I don't know. I like playing COD, but I've just always been a Halo guy. But I've played every shooter. I'm a gamer. Like there's some people who are competitive gamers that are just they play their game and that's it and stuff. But I play casual games all the time. Just
do you really?
Oh, I played every game I've ever even had a thought of wanting to play. I played. My Steam library has got.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you ever play Counter-Strike or any of those games?
Yeah. No, I played all. Like, I like CS, but I don't like COD S&D. And then I talk about that on stream sometimes, and people are like, "Oh, it's the same thing." And I'm like, "Well, the bare bones of it."
Yeah, sort of.
I don't know. I can't explain what I like about certain games and what I don't. Will play them, and it's just my feeling. So, I never had that feeling with COD. So. It was never really my...
Well, that's good. That's good to hear because you see it and like you saying that you don't want to play it, there's still a world in which you say, all right, look, I don't know where Halo's going.
Yeah.
There's definitely money here. Like, I could get picked up by an org really easily. Why don't I just follow the money and go down that route? So I respect the fact that you're like, I play Halo, I'm a Halo player, and that's what it is.
I kind of just go with it and see where it takes me. I mean, if it came down to like, hey, man, like, you got to do something around here. Just I'm about to be homeless or something. Maybe I'd divert, but if it's working, it's working.
It is, and it is obviously now. PJ, obviously super good, right? Like, you think he'd be able to do something like that? I mean, obviously he's talked about it. I think he could. I think he could, and he'd make a splash too.
Yeah, I mean he competed for a little bit and Ghost a little bit longer after that first one, but I think he's talked about it before. I know he said it like on his stream because he likes just doing this type of stuff, like not podcast necessarily, but like when he's streaming, he's like he randomly goes just chatting mode. Like he loves talking to people. He's I always mess with him about small talk, which I love the guy. I mean, he like genuinely cares about how my day is more than me, and I'm like, I don't know, man.
Legendary.
He competed for a little longer. But he said his problem is how he stuck like with the Halo circle because he teamed with like a lot of Halo players. Yeah. He like was Snipe Down, Ogre 2. I'm pretty sure he was with Royale 2 as well. They played at like a UMG event before like the champs like age restriction. Yeah. Because Matt's like he was way too young, so they had to pick up like Ace for that, and they did all right. I mean, as far as 4 Halo players only, no COD experience, no like leadership or like anyone to like push them in the right directions in the gameplay. I mean, they did pretty good. I think I think PJ could play pretty much any game, especially controller wise. He's really good. Like his reactions and stuff are fast as hell. He plays on too fast of a sense, in my opinion, but he makes it work.
Yeah, it's not for everyone.
But you wouldn't think it talking to him, because he's very he tries to be very grounded and composed and mature, which he is. And then in game, normally those people aren't the ones looking around, flinging their stuff everywhere. They're reticle and crosshair and YYing and switching weapons, but I don't know.
And the humblest, right? Like he's super.
Oh, he's the most humble. Yeah. That's what he always tells me.
Yeah.
He always tells me he's just the most humble guy.
He tells you that?
Yeah.
Well, bro, so do I. I tell people that all
but
the
I'm
time.
way more humble than him.
Yeah.
He doesn't get it.
Yeah. No, I like it. Dude, it's that whole team in itself. Like, if I had the opportunity to sit all four of you down and have this conversation, I would. But I think that having these one-on-ones sort of helps. Now that you live here, so you moved to Dallas recently, obviously. What was that move like? From where and to where, and why?
To where, from where, and to why?
Because PJ and Lottie have been talking about moving to Frisco for a long time.
Like
right?
I said, PJ's always talking.
I told Lottie that I have like this very, very cool program that she would be a perfect hostess for. And she's like, "Oh, me and PJ are gonna be moving down there." I'm like, "All right, awesome. PJ's gonna be down here. We're gonna make some moves happen, hopefully." And then you guys sign with Sentinels, then fucking Halo pushes the shit for a long time, like further out into the future.
If it makes you feel better, he still does. He's still planning, or they're still planning. And he still like talks about wanting to move here and stuff.
Yeah.
But he is like super close with his family, and they live in New Jersey. So I think he like is establishing, like a home or a primary residence, so like a place that he could go back to there, just because very family oriented.
Yeah.
But he does want to.
That
he does want to come
understand.
here. Yeah. No. I moved from Michigan to Knoxville a few years ago, basically. Well, I was in the Optic House for like 8 or 9 months. I just showed up one day to do the announcement, and I was like, "No one's in the basement. I'm chilling here." And then it was like 9-10 months later, and I was like, "What the hell's going on?"
The best times. I was getting there, walking down the stairs, walking into the basement, and seeing Frosty's bed or mattress.
Oh yeah, one day I walked out, my teammates are out in the basement, just like the
laid
normal
out.
area. I'm like, what the
Yeah, and this dude has his laptop open to some fucking stream.
Ninja.
Yeah,
he would literally fall asleep watching Ninja, and I would just be like, what the hell is going on? Like I wake up to hearing Ninja screaming. Yeah, like loud Ninja.
Yeah,
like louder. Like his mic quality was like not professional, is peaking, so I'm just hearing Ninja scream. So.
And Frosty just fell asleep.
Yeah, and I'm just in the basement room, like blackout curtains, sleeping forever.
Yeah.
That room was.
Which one? The theater room?
Where the one that was originally Formal's room.
Oh, okay. The workout room.
Both of them are pitch black, honestly. Like, with those curtains in the workout room one.
Yeah,
that's dangerous.
Yeah, Jude. I told Jude, I'm like, you need to put something like some dark curtains. I think she grabbed like factory.
Oh, they worked too good. Yeah. Like I was
zonked out.
Absolutely gone.
Did the ping pong noises bother you?
No.
No, you weren't formal. Formal hated that.
With
shit.
the lack of light, the hearing
goes away.
No, but I moved to Knoxville. My girlfriend Yvonne has lived there basically her whole life, and me being a gamer, all I need is like
Yvonne.
Yvonne.
Isn't that Evan?
Evan. Yeah.
Sorry.
She gets more Evans than Yvonne's, and
I've always thought, I'm like, oh, that's Evan. That's
it's at that point where like a lot of people just call her Evan because that's just how it started, and it's just normal.
So Knoxville, Tennessee.
Yeah, Knoxville. She's from there.
You know who talks a lot of shit about Tennessee being better than Texas? Fucking Wildcat. He just like every single time. I don't know who promotes the city that they live in more than me or him. Like, it's me always like, move to Texas. Anytime somebody complains about where they live, I'm like, bro, Frisco, Texas, Frisco. And right below, it's like, Tennessee, fucking Nashville, Nashville.
Hey. Tennessee's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm liking Texas better so far, but I've only lived here, like a little bit over a month.
Yeah. Let the record show, Your Honor.
Yeah. If I had to choose right now,
let
Texas.
the record show. Somebody clip this and send it to Wildcat.
Yeah, this is the tiebreaker. I'm the official voice.
Yes.
Texas, I guess, wins. But I liked it there. It's super, super pretty, especially if you're like an outside person, which I am not. But if even I can Like appreciate it. That like the mountains and just going from like Michigan, like Midwest. I'm sure you know like how flat everything is. Nothing's flat there. It's super mountainous. It's super nice. But lived there for like 3 years.
What's there? What's in Tennessee? Like massive mountains. What are they called?
The Smoky Mountains.
The Smoky Mountains. You never went out there?
I never went out there, but I saw them.
You saw them on the internet?
No, I saw them. They're really close to Knoxville.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they're smoky as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially in the mornings.
Is it just fog?
Yeah.
And that's why it's called smoky. I like that. Yeah.
Especially in the mornings. But 3-ish years. Yeah, a little over like 3 years, like 3 months, 4 months or something. Liked it, but honestly, especially comparing living in a house now here to an apartment there, the apartment was nice, but the thing I cannot state enough is being able to just have back door open, backyard, really brand new, good big fence, and my dogs can do whatever they want, and I don't have to physically
walk them.
Yeah, because my dogs are, I got boxers, and they're angels. I love them, but especially once they're outside and if they're together, they get crazy. So I could not walk both of them together by myself.
2 is not a pack. 3 is a pack, according to Cesar Milan.
I can't handle a pack. I'm not Jude.
No, I'm not Jude. I can't handle a fucking pack. I wake up every morning and I'm just like, God, because they wake up later than I do, right? Liv and Jude. Yeah. So I get up. I'm the one that has to go out there, and I'm like, I know that if I get up at 7:30, that they'll make it. That they'll make it outside. But I know that if I get out there at 7:35, I'm going to walk out to a brownie or some other surprise lemonade on the floor, and that is the one thing that I cannot deal with, period. Look, I have sanitizer everywhere, so you can imagine if there's a mistake or if an accident happens on one of the dogs in there, I just don't even know how to react. I've never cleaned a piece of shit I haven't cleaned dog poop since 2013 probably.
Is that just because Jude's on top of it, or because you...
I'll gag. She's going to have to pick up my puke too.
Hey, I'm not gonna. Hey, that's how it is sometimes.
Yeah. Dude, that's how it be.
When I see a slug, nope.
You don't like slugs?
Listen, man, I didn't know I liked slugs until I saw the slugs that were in Tennessee. They're not even like the biggest things. That's how I feel about those. And Ivan hated it because I would avoid them for like the plague.
Slugs? With the little shells and shit?
That's a snail.
Oh, slugs. Oh, the slugs are the ones without the naked ones.
They're gross. So that's me with slugs.
Oh.
But
is that what you eat in France? The escargot?
Dude.
Have you? You're about to puke?
No. But in France, the ones that just slither around are even bigger. When I went over there to Europe, I hate flying over the water. I hate being by the ocean. So I went over there. I was forced to, and I saw even bigger slugs. It's besides the point. I don't want to talk about them. They're disgusting.
Yeah.
God.
Oof.
I don't know why. It's like water and slugs are my two things. But my dogs.
Water and slugs are you? What do you mean?
Like I don't like them.
You don't like water?
No.
I have soda.
I don't like big bodies of water.
Oh, yeah. I thought that you were like, I only drink Game Fuel with some crack.
No.
So you do like water? I was gonna say you're wild.
Like just big bodies of water, and then apparently slugs. But
so
my dogs.
No fishing for you then.
Yeah. Well,
I shouldn't invite you.
I could fish, but not on the water.
You see that big boy over there? 8.4 ounces. That's the actual replica of it. If you think about it, if this whole thing, the hex waters was a pond, that's a big piece of the pond. Right?
I'm not gonna lie. In my peripheral, I thought that was that one fish that talks if you push the button. That sings.
Oh, I don't know.
It was. No. I saw it like 15, 20 years ago. About. Yeah, that thing.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but
all right.
That's not
I forgot that you probably actually could catch a fich that big.
Yeah,
I don't know. I gotta work. I gotta work. Hey, allegedly.
Yeah.
Well, allegedly you caught it.
It's on video, and it's a documentary.
I haven't seen the video. I mean,
maybe we should. Okay, so Texas. How did you pick Texas, and what did Evan?
Yeah.
How did Evan pick it?
Now,
I'm calling her Ivan. What the fuck? I'm sorry, Evan.
So me and Ivan. Nah, she just like wanted to move because she lived there forever, and I don't really care what I'm doing ever. Like I said, I just need internet, which Xfinity sucked in Knoxville. They had something out for me. I was down for whatever. Dallas is nice, pretty close to Frisco.
Yeah.
I know people here. I know Davis. I know Nick. I know you. And that was enough for me. That's 3 more people than I knew in Knoxville.
Yeah.
And she's like best friends with Kat. And Maven's all right, I guess.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Well, the good thing about Maven is that he is just like you, and he is just like me. Where look, I'm gonna play, and I'd rather go have dinner than go to a club or whatever.
I might never see Maven, no matter how long him and I both live here, but I will still love him.
The thing that about Maven is that he quit like drinking like cold turkey, which is like the weirdest thing.
Either that or he got max tolerance and he can't get drunk anymore, and
So
he's been
just,
drinking
like,
the whole time.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a very different dude.
Yeah, I don't know. And look, I like him better now, but I do miss that Maven that was burning my...
Every now and then?
Yeah. He would burn my burritos. Like, did you know that? Like,
I can believe that.
There's pictures of that too, Lxthul. There's proof of this.
Yeah, I don't need proof for Maven. I can believe anything from that dude.
So obviously the move, and obviously Texas has incredible internet. Let's not talk about the tax implications and the freedoms that you guys would enjoy here.
Hey,
right?
no state tax in Tennessee either. But hey, I'm just trying to mediate the disagreement on the two states.
Sure, whatever. Headquarters is in Frisco, in Texas, Dallas. You know what I mean? So that's why it's better. Period.
Bars.
Oh yeah, bars. Not actually. They do have bars. And anyway, long story short, the internet here is way better, which is like the perfect. Was it Dream Haven or what do you call that?
I know what you mean, but
it's like the perfect place for any gamer to come,
especially a streamer. Servers nowadays, everything went server-wise instead of like peer-to-peer from back in the day.
Yeah.
Texas servers hit different.
Yeah, Texas servers hit different. If you look at Slasher, Kenny, and I believe Draza, like they moved here for the playoffs.
And it showed.
Yeah. Right? They were playing out of Jason Lake's facility right down the street from here, like 5 minutes away from here. And it showed, right? Like the connection was... and look, the question is, what would have happened if TJ, the Iceman, would have been in Texas at the time and he had to gun the real Iceman in Dillon?
Oh, yeah, 5-5.
Yeah.
That probably made a difference.
I think so. Everything, right? Like,
where is he from? Where is he playing from at the time?
PA, I think. Pennsylvania.
Where was the server for that series?
Chicago, I think. I'm talking out of my ass, but I'm imagining those were the choices.
Either way, if you're in Texas, even if your ping says it's worse somehow, it's not.
It's not. It's way better.
I don't know why.
I don't know. I think it's one of those scenarios where unless you experience it, and unless you see it, unless you compete, or unless you stream, right? Like it does help a lot. Like the fact that we can have 5 people streaming out of here, like that's powerful, right? That's some powerful shit. Give me a little bit while I say hello to the sponsors, and then we'll be right back. Look, I just watched a show on Netflix called The Social Dilemma. And in it, they said something along the lines of it was surveillance capitalism, which I'm okay with. Like normal capitalism, I'm all about. As you guys know, I'm out here making that paper, right? But when you're using and harvesting people's data the way that these guys are to make tech billionaires even richer, I don't have a problem with the way people make money, but that seems a little bit too much because we're sort of volunteering ourselves to be a part of this this environment in which our phone determines and looks and sees and hears everything that we do on a daily basis. But to take those little bits and pieces and say, I don't know, take all that information and then sell it to prospective sellers or whatever, then that gets a little bit too much. That's where Expressvpn comes in, right? Every single time you use the internet, big tech companies mine your data by tracking your searches, messages, and video history. But when you run Expressvpn on your device, it hides your IP. It hides your IP address, which websites you personally visit, identify you, everything that makes your activity more difficult to trace and sell to advertisers. You still need to be careful with what you share on social media, but with Expressvpn, it can make your web browsing a little bit more anonymous, right? Many VPNs slow down your internet, but not ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN is the incredibly fast and easy to use. Just tap one button and you are protected. Right? So if you don't like the idea of tech companies or anybody else exploiting your personal information, then visit expressvpn.com/hex. That's H3CZ. And you can do that right now. And you can get an extra 3 months for free from ExpressVPN. That's expressvpn.com/H3CZ to get those 3 months extra for free to protect your data. So yeah, be sure to visit expressvpn.com/hex to learn more. And one more time for the people in the back, a third time, because third time's the charm. You visit ExpressVPN. That's expressvpn.com/H3CC to get an extra 3 months for free if you sign up today. Don't let these tech companies get all your info and then sell them. You're going to get all these unwanted phone calls. You're going to get just a world of hurt. I mean, if I think the phone calls are the least worrisome. What if somebody steals all your credit card information and then goes on a shopping spree? You work hard for your money. Make sure that it's you that's spending it, not somebody else. So again, super thank you to ExpressVPN for supporting the podcast as much as they do. Certainly appreciate that. Thank you very much. All right, now for the second sponsor of this week, we have none other than Hymns. Hymns comes along so many times, and you've heard us talk about Hymns before. Erectile dysfunction, hair loss, just things that help you be better, right? Just to give you a little bit of data points on that, and I've given these to you before, and these aren't fear tactics, okay? These are just facts. 66% of men start to lose their hair by the age of 35. Don't look at me, not I. Once you've noticed that the thinning hair is coming, it might be a little bit too late. That's why if you act before or you act the second that you can, then you have a little bit of a better fighting chance of being able to retain the luscious hair that you have up top, right? Is that hairline slowly starting to move backwards? Any bald spots yet? Worry not, right? The best way to prevent more hair loss is to do something about it while you still have some hair. Why do guys turn to weird solutions or do nothing when they can turn to medicine and science? I don't know. I always follow science, right? Forhims.com, that's FORHIMS.com, a one-stop shop for hair loss, skincare, sexual wellness for men. It's time to write a new chapter, right? It's time to start and do one in which you have some hair, okay? I use it just to keep this luscious hair more luscious. I don't wear any products, so being able to take care of my hair to do its own thing whenever it does, like I literally, I'll take a shower and then just wash it lightly, and then after that, nothing. It just stands there by itself. No snake oil pills or gas station counter supplements. Prescription solutions backed by science. Hims was created by a guy who knows some men's health conversations are easier to have online than in person. No more awkward in-person doctor's visits or long pharmacy lines. Forhims.com connects you to your licensed medical professionals online, which could save you hours, completely confidential and discreet. You answer a few questions, a medical professional will review it, take a look at it, and then determine whether or not he or she is right for you. They can prescribe your medication to treat hair loss. That's shipped directly to your door in a very discreet package, right? So nobody can look into your business and say, yo, look at what this dude's doing. None of that. It's super discreet. Today's Hims is giving their best offer yet. If you're not happy with your results after 90 days, Hims will give you a full refund. And right now, my listeners, everybody that's watching this or listening to this on every single audio platform, right now, they can get their first visit absolutely free. Go to forhims.com/eavesdrop5. That's EAVESDROP, followed by the number 5. That's forhims.com/eavesdrop5. A full refund of the price, by the way, a full refund of price paid available for the first 90 days supply. Refund requests must be made between 90 and 180 days after the product shipment has been delivered. Prescription products require an online consultation with a medical professional who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and, important, safety information. Remember, that's forhims.com/eavesdrop5. And yeah, that's it. That's what it is. So again, huge shout out to both forhims.com and Expressvpn for coming by for another podcast. We left off on the conversation as to why you moved down to Texas. You've obviously been here only for a month, so it doesn't matter. Until you get to experience Texas in an open state, where COVID isn't a factor. Then,
I keep forgetting, because I don't go out. I keep forgetting how weird things are.
Yeah, things are weird, man. And we recently just went out. And what I don't appreciate about this particular thing is that, look, if we're all going to wear these masks because it's the right thing to do, then let's do that. But I don't like the pretenders that wear a mask and then they get to their table and then they have to go to the bathroom and they don't wear a fucking mask.
Don't half-ass it, full-ass it.
Yeah, full-ass it.
Always. Full-ass, no-ass.
Full send.
Depending on the scenario, but this is probably full-ass.
Yeah.
Never half-ass.
So, what is the current plan for Halo? What's been announced? What's in the works? When is the first match, et cetera, et cetera?
Well, shit. I mean,
if you know,
things were looking good, and then they delayed it So I don't know. I mean,
What was the actual? Was it a full year delay?
no. It was technically like an indefinite, which basically means till whenever. That's that word means, right? Indefinite.
Yeah, indefinite. Yeah.
Basically means till whenever the hell we say.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. No, it's not a full year delay or anything. That's just what the internet says. I don't know like when it releases, and even if I did, I wouldn't say.
Yeah.
But honestly, right now we're just chilling. Literally, everybody's just doing their own thing, waiting. It's crazy to think that like a month, maybe 2 months from now, we would be playing it like at release, but got pushed back a little bit. So
I mean, if we're gonna make the assumption, if I'm gonna make the assumption, if it's not being released in November, then it's gonna be released next year November, which gives them a little bit more time to develop whatever it is that they're developing. But at this point, like we have to, we see it from an esports perspective, right? But this is a game that has been played by a lot of people from the beginning of time, just as a video game
for a lot of different reasons.
Yeah, for a lot of different reasons. Yeah.
Even like
the builds, all that.
You don't even want to say like from the esports thing, from a multiplayer perspective. Cutting that out, there's people on the other side for like the campaign and the lore and stuff. Yeah, like that's actually like by far the majority of the Halo fan base. If you ever go to like the Halo Reddit, I went there the first time thinking I was going to see like clips or videos or something.
Nothing.
I don't know what the hell is going on in the Halo in the Halo extended universe lore wise, apparently, because that's what all it is. It's a lot of like fans of like the actual franchise itself, like beyond the games, way beyond multiplayer and stuff like that.
A lot of people are hoping that the extension and the reason that it got delayed.
Well, multiplayer is free to play as well.
Yeah, well, it's like, but Warzone, fucking battle royale is what a lot of people are rumoring, or sort of,
Fuck.
Do you think that esports nowadays have to have a BR, or
maybe not esports, but like games in general? I mean, as long as they aren't diverting their resources and like taking away features and other stuff of the game to do that, I don't know why a game wouldn't. I mean, hell, at least if you got the resources and the ability to like build one in a universe and a game and stuff, right now, even though people say like the trend and stuff is like over and dying or something, I mean, I don't see why anyone would have a problem with it.
Who's saying that it's dying?
Idiots.
Yeah,
on Twitch.
morons, right?
Yeah.
That BR is dying?
Like how it's stupid to keep releasing them, or like, oh, they're behind the trend. I say idiots as in like the people on the internet that are like, you gotta like, they do exist. I mean, you gotta acknowledge them. No, you gotta acknowledge them. Like,
no, you don't.
Well,
but I know what you mean.
Not like 99% of the time, no, but for that, like mainly when people talk about Halo, they're like, should they release a BR? Or like there'll be a thread on that, and it's like, no, they're always chasing trends. They're behind because by the time it'll be released, it'll be this so and so, and it's like, I don't know. I don't agree with them.
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, if you look at Counter-Strike released their BR. I don't remember the name of it, but they released it, and not a lot of people transitioned over to it. Yeah. And I'm talking about my ass because I don't know anything, but I don't really hear or see clips.
I don't even know if it was like an actual full release. I think it was like a it might have been like a community, like, because they have like their community browser like thing. I think it might have been something like that, where you like, but I don't know. I honestly think Halo, like the whole game and universe and all that stuff. And I'm not a lore kid, but like I kind of know my bare minimum, decent amount more than most like the esports gamers on Halo. It's kind of, I mean, it's perfectly built for it. Like low key, that's like what the ODST people in Halo like 3 ODST were doing. Those fools just drop in from pods anyway. That's, you got the whole beginning of a battle royale in your universe. Yeah. But no, I don't see I don't think it's needed, but I also don't think it can cause any problems. I mean, if it isn't the most popular BR, it's not the most popular BR, or it blows up, and then it helps every other aspect. Yeah.
So let's say this. Let's switch it into more esports talk, right? I get, from the beginning of all of this, of me going to partner with Andy and Energy and owning Energy and owning obviously Shock and all this, like from an ownership standpoint, like we've both been on the same page, 99.99%. And the 0.9% or the 1% that's missing is, what we read and what we shouldn't be reading. So just fun, dude things. But we've always been obviously Halo being like super. How do I say it? A staple of shooters, we always keep it. And I mean personally, obviously with the history that I have with it, I told him like, oh, we're going into Halo at one point or another.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, cool, I'm with it. Let's do it, right? But the opportunity hasn't really presented itself because I couldn't go to him today and be like, hey, we need to fight for my boys because we just need them. And they was like, well, what are they going to do if there's no competition? And I think that a lot of orgs. I mean, recently, Envy just announced their roster. Who else picked up a roster besides Sentinels?
Envy, C9,
Cloud9, right? Like they're all picking up, and I'm always getting hit up, right? Like fucking Flamesword, my boy and shit. My brother love him to death, and then Nick also, my brother love him to death. They're always like, "What's up? We're doing this Halo thing." I'm like, "Nah, we're not doing that Halo thing. It's only one. I'm not going into Halo unless I have the creme de la creme, and you guys are taken, so that hurts my heart a little bit. But we'll see how everything shakes up."
Yeah.
So what do you guys do, like in the interim?
In the interim, I spent a lot of like dumb shit. I could get into that with what I think they've been doing, like in the whole like downtime in this break. One, how long it is and stuff, and how they handled it back from the end of Halo 5 tournaments in 2018. But it's just been, they have like their online tournaments that they have, but they call them like HTS Pro Series, and they've done Reach, H2A, Halo 3, and now Halo 5 on Xbox, which is tough to go back and play just because how terribly that game runs on the Xbox, especially compared to PC, like games and the Halo PC stuff. But just been a lot of interim online tourneys for those games and stuff, and just kind of filler. I mean, there's only so much you can do during a pandemic, and when it's been like 2 years since, or 5 years, not 2 years, 5 years since your last game released. I mean, there's only
Has it really been that long?
October 27th, 2015 was Halo 5.
Get the fuck
Last
out
Halo
of
5 main major was November 20th, 2018, and then they did the 5 Halo 3 lands in 2019.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I think they might have scheduled it. They scheduled it like bad still, but they're scheduling it around the original like release date and other stuff and plans for Halo Infinite. And then I'm sure a lot of stuff happened that made it even worse. But I don't know. Just a lot of whatever. I mean, I just stream and I just play. I mean, Halo most of the time, or like Apex or something. I just throw the stream on, and like I said, I'm a gamer. I play games like all day.
Except Call of Duty.
To a fault. I play COD.
You play Warzone?
I play COD. I don't play Warzone.
Why?
Warzone's its own thing.
You don't like Warzone? What is it about Battle Royale that you don't like?
Well, I like Apex. I liked Fortnite, like Season 4, 5, 6. I mean, Prime H1Z1 was the most fun ever, which just goes to show how hard it is to make a good game or a bad game, because if you list out Prime H1Z1 stuff, that game had so many flaws and bugs, and it was terrible on paper, but if it works, it works. But Warzone, I don't know. I don't know. It just, like I said, if I play a game and if I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't.
And you don't?
Yeah.
Did you play Blackout?
Yeah, I didn't really like Blackout either. For different reasons, though.
I don't know why I didn't like Blackout.
Exactly.
Okay. I don't know.
Now
let
you're
me
getting
rephrase
it.
that. Well, let me rephrase that. I don't know why I didn't like the sniping in Blackout. And
Formal liked it.
Yeah. Oh, he loved it. Yeah, he was obviously, I don't know. But Warzone, obviously, for me, is such a fucking great game. Like, such a perfect game. I mean, I'm taking out all the bullshit hacks, all the bullshit fucking skill-based matchmaking. Like, I'm taking all of that out of the equation when saying that game, everything about it is fucking perfect. Everything about the bounties, all the side challenge that you do, the way that
I only played Warzone like the very beginning. They still are the bounties still generally the same type thing as they were from launch. Okay.
Yeah.
I just remember the first time, like my first game, and that thing popped up, and like I had a bounty on me. These fools were hunting me, and I'm like,
that's dope.
I'm like, what the hell did I do?
Yeah.
I didn't realize what it was at first because I didn't know anything about the game, and I'm just like, what? I'm like, I'm in a BR. How do I have a bounty on me?
Yeah.
Like,
because you don't know if that's on you or something you triggered.
And the next thing I know,
but now
these guys are blatantly hunting me.
So now what you can do is you can choose to be hunted, and if you can get away or survive within that time, you get a bunch of money.
Okay.
So you can go and pick up a bounty to see who you're gonna hunt, or somebody can go in and pick up and you get hunted. And let's not talk about that. It goes into it, but. Do you guys have to create content for them? Like what are the duties? If you don't mind me asking, obviously this is.
I mean, it's kind of just like do whatever. I mean, we compete in all the like all the HCS Pro Series things that they've had from like whatever game they're doing, which like I said, they're just kind of filler, whatever. I'm not playing in the Halo 5 stuff right
Yeah.
now because it's on Xbox, and I was having issues with like my connection on Xbox Halo 5 for some reason. It was when I moved here, it was really weird. So that, as well as going back to play Halo 5 console, is impossible if you haven't played in a while, and it takes like a month of grinding to just not be terrible. So I was like, yeah, you guys can handle this one. So I'm not playing those. And then we kind of, I don't know, like they're not super serious, these Pro Series things. People can play and come and go and do whatever they want as they please because they're not like majors or anything. So we just play those, and I mean, I don't know if we technically have to make content and stuff, but I know PJ and I specifically, and Frosty actually has been doing really good too since he showed up. Like, he's been streaming a lot.
Yeah.
Not as much as me, but, you know, a lot.
Yeah. Humble.
Yeah. No, I'm the most humble, and I stream the most.
Yeah.
Out of all of them.
Yeah. It's not a competition, but if it was, you'd be winning.
I am winning. Yeah, by far. I don't know. I mean, we're doing pretty good as far as like Halo content side of things. We haven't got any complaints, but people saying, like, Halo community people saying like, you're not making content, whatever. And normally we always hear that.
Yeah.
As Halo community members, that's like been the main gripe forever.
Yeah.
Especially once like Ghosts for COD and Nade Shot and all that stuff was popping off. They were like, that could have been you guys and stuff.
Yeah. Well,
But,
that could have been, but I mean, it's
But I'm not hearing that anymore.
One is never too late. Secondly, like, don't you think that somebody in the community, whoever the fuck it is, can just spin up tournaments to have like these things? Would people show up for that? Because right now it seems like
We get decent turnouts for these online tournaments and stuff because they're like spread out. Like every Friday there's a Halo 3 one. Every Saturday now there's a Halo 5 one, and then before that it was like switched. And then I don't know, we've actually had pretty good consistent amount of tournaments. The prize pools aren't anything like, I mean, the streamer like Warzone tournament stuff are, but those are nuts.
Yeah. Well, the viewership's there.
Yeah,
to support that.
No, yeah. Just,
But I guess in these it's more about the competition and sharpening. You know.
But I
iron
mean,
sharpens iron.
I can do the math off the top of my head, but I think it's like the Halo 5 tournaments that they're having, these Halo 5 Pro Series ones they're having like every Saturday. I think it's like maybe like 6 weeks or something of them, or 8 weeks or maybe, and it's like, I mean, they're like 5K each or 10K prize pool, and it's literally just for a little, like, one tournament on the weekend or on like a Saturday, and then every Saturday, and then it adds up to like probably 60, 70K like prize pool total just in the meantime, and that's just the Halo 5 ones, and then the Halo 3 ones were before that and stuff. So I don't know, they're doing pretty good with like the tournaments to fill, and then the participants, they're all right, especially seeing as how split they are. Because the Halo community is very divided on like which games they like and stuff. So some people play Halo 3, don't play Halo 5. Play Halo Reach and Halo 5, don't play Halo 3. Like, people like what they like. So
what do you think it's going to take for this to sort of, I mean, obviously besides putting out a game, right? What do you think it's going to really make it? Like, what's needed in your opinion for Halo, what's it called, the new one?
Infinite.
For Halo Infinite to succeed.
Yeah. Well,
has there been a beta? Has there been an alpha? Have you guys tried it? Do they bring you guys out to try it?
No. They have a pro team. They have like their pro team, which is like they hire people who were pros, like Clutch, Mickwin, Assault, like Hines, and then like they all work out there and stuff as like their pro team. But they've had a pro team like on Halo 5 as well, and that's just their in-house. Like, they're hired by them, and that. But as far as other pros and active stuff, no, I don't know. They're very like against that. I think maybe just for competitive integrity wise, people getting
early access.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
but as far as the beta alpha stuff, no. They originally stated online like 2 years ago, I want to say, that Halo 5 or Halo Infinite was gonna have like open betas, like an open beta before the game and all that stuff. But I don't know what I've heard about that since the delay. I know the multiplayer is free to play, and it's separate from like the actual campaign / main story, like actual physical game. So you would think they would be able to do that.
I'm on GameBattles.com right now, and there is no ladder for Halo. Where do you guys play?
Game Battles?
Yeah.
I haven't met Game Battles in so long.
It's owned by Activision now, obviously, since Sonny and Sepso sold MLG. But
Face It
is where you guys would go for that?
Yeah.
I love the Face It integration into Battalion 1944, whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah, what happened to that game? What
I
were
don't
you guys
know.
doing?
I don't know.
I know Hutch was grinding the hell out of that too.
I was playing. We were grinding. Like it was good. We were getting clips. Fwiz was getting on and playing it because it was that good. Like that's another game that's like really really good, but it's not big enough for people to sort of be interested in it. But it's like it's got all the core mechanics that made Call of Duty great in the beginning, and I love it. I love the game. If there was more people playing, or let me rephrase that, if more of my friends played it, I would still be playing it the same way that I would still be playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered right now, right? So I can understand when you say that people like Halo 3 more than they like H5 and et cetera, et cetera. You like what you like, but at the same time...
Even if you like a game, the community aspect of something is like the most important.
Correct.
Because like you can love Halo 3 and all that stuff, and like Modern Warfare 2, like back in the prime 2007 era when I think that was probably my favorite time period of games, like the Gears of War 1, Halo 3, COD 4 type time period. Like you could go back and play those games, they could be the exact same, and it won't be the same just because all those people who were on at the time and that sense of community, like getting home, seeing your entire friends list on that game, and then you get on later and it's just you, and you're just like, well, it's not the same.
I'm curious to see
their publicity of the tournaments and everything is okay based off Twitter, like interaction engagement, but their like publicity to find the tournaments on the site for Face It is pretty weird. Yeah, because I'm not very good at it. I just
find it so...
It just should be way more easy to access things like that and things in general, and it's
I'm still stuck on the fact that Game Battles doesn't have Halo here, and all they have right now, from what I understand and I'm looking at, is all games owned by AB, Activision Blizzard.
Really?
Yeah, they don't have any other games on there besides Call of Duty, Heroes of the Storm, StarCraft, World of Warcraft, Hearthstone, and...
They updated their main menu. It used to look... I prefer the old way, honestly.
Yeah, bring me back. Bring me
back. That little bar that says everything and it barely functions, but, you know...
I'm surprised.
That's weird.
I'm surprised.
Like you couldn't even go and play like Rocket League game battles.
Exactly, right? Which is obviously owned by Epic. But again, it's one of those things where you sort of lose a little bit of the culture as the scene progresses and grows. Which obviously brings me to the topic, right? Like obviously we sort of romanticize what the old school Call of Duty 4, Halo 3 sort of scene looked like. Would you give up the professionalism and all the resources that we have now to go back and have that? Or do you think that where we're at right now? Because look, we obviously...
If I was you guys in COD, no. If I was me, I don't know. Honestly, probably not. Just it's going to be greedy just because how much better the money was during Halo 5 and then I assume will be in Halo Infinite compared to then.
Yeah.
But that's just me being greedy. If I could have both of those worlds, well, I'd probably just be a little happier.
Yeah.
It'd be the exact same, but...
Yeah. Do you think... you understand franchising and how it works? Do you think that that's coming to Halo? Or do you think that that's something that Halo would benefit from? A true commitment from the developer to the organizations and the players that say, look, together we're going to build this thing for the next 10 years... and hopefully this becomes something great and awesome, because that's ultimately what we ended up being, right? Like before, we never really had a conversation with Activision Blizzard. No matter how much they fucking say that they were involved, they were not fucking involved. Like if I needed something, I would go to Adam Apicella or Sundance and Sepsa, and that's it, right? Like there was no let's talk to Johanna Ferris, the commissioner now, or let's talk to
even back in the days, that's how it used to be. I don't know if Bungie ever directly anything like supported the competitive community for Halo. All I know is they gave MLG a playlist in the game.
Yeah.
That's it. They basically just didn't hit him with a cease and desist.
Basically.
Yeah, that was their whole...
There was no support?
That was their support. So for franchising, I could see it, but I think obviously game not being out right now and then for a little bit longer, and the like indecisiveness and just kind of where it is, I think it's probably in the timeline somewhere in a best case scenario or like the good case scenario for it, but I think it's a couple years until you would see how the process is going for them. I could definitely see it going that way though.
Yeah,
I think they're trying to at least dip their toe into some type of infrastructure like that with the orgs necessarily. Maybe not like as franchises, but that's why you see like these orgs already announcing for Infinite, kind of, because they're kind of trying to set the groundwork for that type of infrastructure, like to be more personally with the developer to the organization to that relationship.
Got it. You know what's crazy about that is that as much as it helps and as much as like a safety net for everybody to have the developer on the same page and the developer on the same boat, essentially, of building this thing together, you lose a lot of the core values that built this thing to where it's at. And I guess that goes for everything in the world. Anything that starts out small or community grassroots stuff. I mean, obviously the fighting community is like an outlier in that scenario. Yeah. But just think of the immense amount of resources that exist today. Because of these franchises. So my question at the beginning of this topic was, what do you think is needed in order for Halo to make the resurgence that it needs in order to be a contender again?
I think the game needs to come out for one. I think I don't know. I think they need to definitely go back to and like help the more open community as far as the competitors standpoint, like the open bracket type people, the AMs. They were really kind of screwed in Halo 5 early on, which obviously hindered the rest of Halo 5. If you don't
screwed how?
Like there wasn't an open tournament available to them, like a LAN. Yeah. This is 2016 until an official one until maybe after July of 2016. The game came out in 2015, October 27th. There was online stuff, qualifiers for LANs, qualifiers for like regionals, for worlds, but nothing open LAN tournament or anything. So, I mean, that right there, I think they need to not screw those people over as much. And I think
so. To have like a challengers division?
Yeah, I mean something for someone. They need to have something for someone. That's the bare minimum, right?
Yeah.
That for sure, because if you don't have people in your competitive scene that have anything to play for besides the people who are already pros, what the hell is going on? And then I think the main issue with 343 and Halo and HCS and all that in general is how many like hoops they have to jump through for everything, no matter what, when it comes to updating the game, adding something, fixing something, stating something.
Housekeeping is something that they have to fucking do regardless, though.
But like, I don't know, their way of doing things, it pisses me off. It's so annoying. Like they only seem to do things once the entire ladder and chain of command has been, gone up, like email after email, and it takes so long for them to do anything, basically, no matter how small, no matter how big. And like there's a update coming to MCC on PC with crossplay to Xbox, which
that should help.
Yeah, like we all play on PC, but the console, like the Xbox community, the population is still way bigger than the PC community in general. So there's crossplay and there's input-based matchmaking, and it's being added in like the next month to 2, depending on whenever it's officially announced, or released, which one. The fact I have to say 1 to 2, that type of thing, is something they could fix. But that type of update, like those 2 things right there, which are the biggest, most important things that they could be doing for that game right now, isn't being like just added in. Even they could add it in. It could say experimental, like that right there. Your get out of jail free card in case like it's kind of being wonky at first.
Yeah.
But they're not releasing it until the next major title update to the game, which is when Halo 4 releases and it is added, which is in 1 to 2 months whenever they're officially done. I don't know. Like the way I see it is some things are more important than others and are needed like as ASAP. So. But I don't know. That's just my opinion on how they do things. And they've done that with a lot of updates and stuff in the past, whereas other games get shit done, hot fixed in if it's a necessity, priorities. So I don't know. I think they just need to get their communication and their priorities more streamlined.
For me, and obviously talking to Tashi, who fucking love that dude, fucking
on an individual thing, like the people there are awesome.
Yeah, no, of course, yeah, but talking to him, like he has high hopes for this new thing, and so do I, right? Like I want to be involved. I want to continue to follow the story. I want to be a part of the Halo story.
Yeah, no, there's a lot more good. I can't talk.
Yeah, no, I completely understand. For so long we've been waiting for this like resurgence of Halo to come back and have the same sort of emotions that we had in the past about it. But in the past I've been super involved in the esports, and I've watched every single. I know every single player on every single team, and et cetera. And like right now, I think that there's this sort of thing missing, and it's not necessarily having to do with the fact that you guys don't have a game or anything to play or anything stable that goes on a weekly basis. But I think that the fact that 343 or whoever, Bungie or whoever, is not holding tournaments to keep the community alive or to keep the community entertained or to signal to the world that hey, we're still here, bear with us while we hammer things out. Like I think that's a massive disservice to themselves. They
kind of are, but they're doing it in so many different assets and like avenues that it's kind of like.
They need to concentrate on one?
It kind of, it like causes a divide.
Yeah.
And then that's among the community, and if the whole community's all getting divided up, then, I mean, hell, that's actually worse than doing nothing, because from an outside perspective, I'd be like, what is going on? Like, are these guys competing in this game or this game? And then next thing you know, you're not even thinking about the fact that Infinite's going to be a game. Yeah. And then you're watching COD.
Yeah, so when I saw Frosty leave, when I saw Shotzi leave, et cetera, leave Halo to that, like I have to think that at some point or another they were like, guys, this is going to continue to happen with these pros leaving the scene if we don't get our act together to get shit out.
And Snipe down over in Apex. I don't know if that's like permanent or something, but like, I mean, he just signed with TSM for their competitive team, so
for Apex,
him as well, yeah.
Yeah, so like again, there's a lot of staple community. Pro players that are sort of needed in this iteration of the new iteration of Halo to bring the thing, because you guys have the perfect formula, right? You have the veterans and you guys and your community, and then you have the Shotsies that are coming up in this thing that are like, yo, hey, I'm a player that can raise up the notoriety of the esport if you guys give it a chance.
And the next thing you know is
peace. But you can't help it, right? You can't help but to go to a place where it's being catered to a certain thing. And look, he won, right? Like he won a world championship year one. Fucking tank. So kudos to him, I guess. I guess. I like that. I like that the majority of the things that you said from an improvement standpoint has to do with the utmost basic things. Yeah. You're not saying they need to reinvent this, and instead of like, it's just basic stuff that develops a platform for it to be built upon.
And it just gets harder. I think the bigger the game and the company is, like we're at, like we said, all the way back to the Gandhi thing. Yeah. Like that would be fucking awesome to hear about like anything HCS wise ever. Yeah. Just even like once, please. Yeah. But I don't even know. Maybe they can or something.
Well, I don't know. I don't think that's a matter of they can or they cannot, right? Like they choose to. Yeah. Like, I mean, they choose to say what they do. There's ways around this thing. To give the updates needed. So I don't know, maybe you guys being a little bit more boisterous and caring, not that you don't care, but I think that being loud sometimes, especially if the pros, and I'm not encouraging you guys to go and fucking raise hell by any means, but I
already
think
sent out the PSA.
Yeah, so like I think that a more open conversation would keep. Or maybe they're doing the right thing. We're talking about it right now, right? Like I'm always wondering what the fuck they're doing, right?
The long con.
And Tashi is one text away from getting a download on what's happening. But I don't know. I think the mysteriousness of it. I think that the way that it's shaping out.
I was just about to say the mysteriousness. Yeah. Like, because I think they're doing really good and are really open with orgs, but that's also mysterious to us who aren't the orgs who are hearing these things.
From the orgs?
Yeah, like from 343, like all the good things that are making them jump on board. Yeah. Like, don't you think everybody else want to hear some of this?
Yeah, I just think I think that from a keep it on the wrap standpoint, it's a lot easier to talk to 12 orgs than it is to talk to 64 players. You know what I'm saying? Because then at that point, one of them who is a shitter that's not going to be competing anyways is going to go and ruin it for everybody by spreading the rumors and fucking leaking shit to whoever the fuck they leak shit to.
Well, at this point, I could go for some leaks or something.
Yeah.
I know some of us
You're
could.
asking
Like
for 'em?
someone leaks something for us.
Yeah.
Like there's a time when it crosses from leaks to like just information.
And
I feel like we're at almost the information point with how close we are to the game release. And
well, we're not though,
yeah,
right?
well,
sort of.
well, we should have been, but
Yeah.
now we're even now, I'm gonna say, even if it was like a July, August or something release, let's say next year,
yeah,
even then we're still close enough. Like
I agree.
So
Yeah, I mean, there really isn't anything that anyone can really
like
think
give me
of
a
or do.
crumb, give me a crumb of info.
That's crazy. Anyway, thank you for stopping by, man. Any last closing words or shout outs you want to do?
No, shout out to Hecz for bringing me here.
Yeah.
Nick, just for being Nick. That's all I got on him.
Yeah.
Davis, for being the first person I saw when I moved here.
Yeah.
Shout out to the stream. Shout out to the Halo people. Shout out to whoever's watching this. The Green Wall, all the bricks, wherever you guys are at now. I don't know where all the bricks went, but they're all spread out.
Yeah. They're waiting for me to
Yeah,
push a button.
they're chilling.
For it to reassemble like fucking Voltron.
Yeah. No.
All right. Well, thanks, man. I do appreciate you stopping by. This won't be the last one. Obviously, hopefully, when TJ moves on here, eventually, hopefully this has a little pressure. We'll do one with him, and then I'll do one with Frosty, Royal 2, and then we'll do one with all four of you together. And we'll have the entire Sentinel squad here to talk. Anyway, shout out to you and your org, man. Obviously, Sentinels have been doing a lot of good moves lately, so I certainly appreciate that from an org perspective. But aside from that, I appreciate you stopping by, and let's hope to go do some lunch or something in the meantime.
Yeah.
You down?
Once every 3 months, I'm open.
Hell yeah. Appreciate you coming by, bro. And last but not least, another thank you to Expressvpn and 4Hymns. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Maddie, hit him with the music.